And then John said you can Control Alt. Oh wait, Control Alt. Wait, hold on. Control Alt Shift H gets rid of that. Okay.
Where's the camera?
Right here. Oh, right here.
Oh, can they
This
see me?
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right. Good morning, everyone. I'm Sarah Weisman. I'm the Penfield Library Director, and I'm going to be talking today about library resources for all employees. So these are resources to support you both professionally and personally. Can I put this into presentation mode? Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
And do you want to see the camera? We can go like that.
Oh, sure. Okay, great.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right, sorry about that. I'm back now, so you can see the slides. The QR code will take you to a copy of this presentation in case you want to be able to click on the links afterwards, and then it will be there for all of the recording viewers as well. So thank you for joining today. So we have resources that can support you both professionally and personally, and so I'm going to briefly review those and how you can access them both on-site and online through the library's website. Okay, so professional or educational. So some of our faculty and staff are also pursuing other degrees, and so that's why I say educational, really thinking about your education. Okay, so the first thing is getting started. You can search our collections, and we have this box on our front page. What this searches is it searches print books, ebooks, journals, articles, movies, music, and more, and all in one search. Now, it's very convenient. You can definitely start there, but just some caveats. That doesn't search everything we have. And sometimes it's really better to do a more targeted search. Okay, so maybe you want articles for your work. You want to look into articles on student development or who knows what, any topic. So databases are basically a searchable collection of articles. We have 140 databases. Which database should you pick to search in? So we have research guides arranged by subject that can point you to the best resources for major topic areas. And one that might be of professional interest is our Educational Leadership Research Guide. And that one was created for the Educational Research Program, but that might have some specific resources of interest to educators here on campus. So that's one you could check into. Once you're into the research guides, you can then click on resource guides and you can browse all of the resource guides, again, where we outline, what the best databases are for each subject area. And they're different. And so you're going to get much more targeted results by using one of these specific databases to your topic. Okay, so another thing you can do is when you're looking for articles, you could browse a list of databases by subject. And I'm going to be going back and forth a little bit through the web pages here. So if you're looking by subject, you're going to go to the library website, find sources, databases A to Z, and you can browse. So obviously this is an alphabetical listing, but you can then browse by subject. So you can see, okay, these are the databases for communication studies, and we start out with some best bets. And then we list the others that we have identified as good for that subject area. Okay, professional journals. So why might you look for a specific journal? One, you want to know, do we have access to XYZ journal? Or what journals do we have in full text on a particular topic? So how to find journals. You're going to go to, oops. You're going to go to our website, find sources, find a specific journal. And this is where you're going to search for a specific journal title. So again, you're not searching for articles at this point. You're saying, do we have access to this title? You'll search the title here, or you can look at the categories. You can say, okay, I'm really interested. I want to see what you have in journalism and communications. And you can say, okay, what do we have in radio and TV broadcasting? All right, so this says we have 44 journals on the subject of radio and TV broadcasting. And then you can kind of browse through to see what we have. Now, my caveat for you is browsing the journals by category has limited usefulness. So I just will admit that freely, because often there are too many to look through. But again, you can search the databases and you can get access to these articles. Okay, so getting materials from other libraries. Faculty and staff are welcome and encouraged to utilize our interlibrary loan services. And this is when we borrow items for you from another library. And so sharing resources with other libraries greatly expands the scope of what we can provide to you and to our students. And so as you're searching in the databases, as you're searching the catalog, you'll find links. You'll see either we own it, we have access to it, we provide the HTML full text or the PDF full text, or there will be a link to get it from another library. And so you will click that link and follow the instructions. Now, this link here that you can click on later at your leisure will take you to more information about interlibrary loan service and how to register your account the first time. So some tips for faculty, staff who are also students. Sometimes we'll get a faculty staff member who says, oh, I'd love to borrow the textbook, through interlibrary loan. Libraries generally do not lend textbooks, so we're not going to be able to help you there. We also do not lend textbooks either. That's a pretty universal library stance. And the other thing is check the library where you're attending classes, because they will also have other resources, usually different databases from what we have. Okay, ask a librarian. So we are here to help you learn how to use our resources. So we are not just here to help the students. We are also here to help you learn how to use our resources. Librarians are expert searchers. We went to graduate school to learn how to be librarians. We can help you be more efficient and more proficient with your searches. This is our field of expertise, information seeking. So please use us. We can really help you. So how to get librarian assistance? You're going to go to the library website, using library, and get research help. And let's just take a look at that too. So if you'll notice, whenever I'm in one of the catalog searches, if I click on the logo, then we come back to the library homepage. So you're going to do using the library, get research help. So this outlines the way you can get help. Now, one thing I want to encourage you to do is this, set up a one-on-one consultation with a librarian. This is a great opportunity to have an in-depth session with a librarian. You, of course, are welcome to stop by the help desk, or excuse me, the research help desk. When we're staffing it, you're welcome to do a chat with us or an email. But if you've got a real, in-depth research question, it's best if you schedule an appointment with us, because then we can give you, designated time one-on-one and can really work on your problem. Okay, many of you are probably aware we subscribe to the Chronicle of Higher Education with a site license. This provides higher education news, in-depth and breaking, opinion, advice. They have newsletter subscriptions that'll come to your email inbox, and they have higher ed job listings. So just a reminder, we have full access, so don't pay for an individual subscription. We are paying for it for everybody. And what you'll do is you register for an individual account with your SUNY Oswego email address, and then you will be in the know with what's happening in the higher ed world. We also have a site license to the New York Times All Access subscription. And so that gives you the news, but also games, cooking, The Athletic, which is the sports coverage, Wirecutter, which is product reviews, and then the Times Machine, which is the New York Times archives from 1851. And then there's subscriber-only newsletters. So the Times Machine is actually really, really fun. And so it's a little hard to find, like there's not a direct link to it, and we'll probably add a link to on the library webpage for this. There's a link in this presentation, and here's just an example of one article I pulled. This is from January 22nd, 1977. For upstaters, the snowy winter is just not a big deal. So you can see this is an image of the original paper, but then the full text is also there in plain text. So it's really easy to read. You don't have to like squint and try to read this tiny text, but you get a view of like what it looked like in 1977, which is really pretty cool. And this is a fun article, and they do mention Oswego as well, but it seemed fitting to look at that one yesterday. Okay, so there's a link on how to access New York Times. Okay, so for your personal needs, we have an incredible wealth of resources for, again, personal and professional. So we've got print books, reading for pleasure. We've got a number, we've been separating out some collections to make them more easily browsable for our students, but also for you, our faculty and staff. So on the first floor, you see a picture here of the leisure reading collection. It's a small collection. It's a rental collection. We don't buy these books. We just rent them for a period of time when they're usually like bestsellers. And then when they're no longer bestsellers, when we've had them long enough, then we send them back and get new ones. So definitely stop by there and browse. We also have new books on the first floor. Those are fun to browse, and we have them perched in a more easily browsable way as well. Young adult fiction, those of you who are familiar with young adult fiction, it's not just for young adults. So we find our students really like the young adult fiction, and faculty and staff do as well. Similarly, graphic novels, comic books for adults, essentially. We've separated those out as well. Here's an image of the second floor where we've got the graphic novels and the young adult fiction. So again, those are separated out for easy browsing. Then of course we also have nonfiction and fiction in our circulating collection, which is located on the third floor. Now, the circulating collection items are not easy to browse because there's so many up there. So a couple of ways that you can find print books. So first is we have highlighted collections in the catalog. All right, so this is, actually, let me go to our homepage for a second and show you how to get there from our homepage. So if you're here on our homepage, what I usually do is I just click a blank search to get into kind of the catalog area. And then I click over here, highlighted collections. All right, so this is actually a really nice feature. This will show you, so here's an example of the graphic novels. So we have 51 graphic novels, and you can see their covers, which is really nice. So that's a nice way you can browse virtually instead of just coming in. We've also got the leisure reading collection, new books, the mental health and wellness collection of items. These are items that we purchased with the mental health and wellness higher education emergency relief fund grant money. I just want to show you the leisure reading collection. So if you see one, again, the leisure reading, I didn't mention this before, includes both fiction and nonfiction titles, which you can see here what we've got. And then if you see one you're interested in, oh, I want to read this one, click on the title to go into the record. Okay, now here you see this one's not available. And if you look down here, this one is on loan. Okay, so this one is checked out, coming back on the 21st. Okay, and others you'll see this one's available. It'll say available and where it is, leisure reading collection, first floor. Okay, so then if you're going to search within the library catalog to search the circulating collection, I've got some tips here for how to do it. You're going to search, so some tips for fiction and nonfiction, and then you're going to apply some limiters in the catalog to show that it's held by the library. So I'm running out of time, so I'll come back to that if I have time later. I'll show you an example. Okay, so younger readers, we have resources for parents of children. We have the children's picture book collection pictured here. This is on the second floor. The juvenile collection, nonfiction, and again, young adult fiction, which may or may not be appropriate for the youngest readers. Parents can be the judge of what they want their children to read. And you can borrow these collections. So these are here. As you can see, the way the children's picture book collection is laid out, the shelves are low. You can bring your young children to look at the picture books and pick things to check out themselves. That's perfectly fine. You are welcome. We would love for you to bring your children here to do that. So just one reminder that children under 7 must be accompanied by an adult at all times. So you can't bring your children and leave them here for the day, unfortunately. Okay, ebooks. Ebooks are primarily academic content. And so the individual book titles are listed in the library catalog, and you can search and show a limiter to show just available online. Or you can browse the individual ebook collections, and you would do that through the databases A to Z. I'm going to go back over there. Oh, maybe not. Let's go back over here. Find sources, databases A to Z, database type, ebooks, and then it will show the ebook collections. And you can click and go into those collections. But you can also discover the items through the catalog as well. What you'll notice, and what you've probably already noticed, we have a lot of different ways to find things. There's a lot of different paths that get you to the same spot. Okay, we also have movies. So we have DVDs and Blu-rays on the second floor. You can browse them in person, or I've provided instructions here on how you can search them in the library catalog. Okay, they're not the newest titles, granted, but there's like a really good collection of educational titles, but also entertainment titles. We also have streaming videos through Academic Video Online. Whoops. Over 67,000 videos, okay? And this combines educational videos and also entertainment videos. So a popular channel is like Sony Pictures Classic and PBS. And that, again, you can access from the databases A to Z page, but I just want to give you a quick show of that. So if you click over here, there's some pop-up. Okay, well, when you're in this and you have, okay, I can't get the pop-up. Anyway, when you're in here, click on this, and then you can get to the collections, and you can see the popular collections like Sony Pictures Classic. So there's lots of movies that would be very fun to watch that are in here. So that's a resource for you as well. Okay, so on site, we have CDs. We have a small collection of records. Pictured here is the extent of the small collection of records. So when I say small, I do mean small. We have a record player right here and some headphones. You can listen to the records. Okay, we also have self-service digital creation tools in the library. We have a podcasting room pictured in the upper right. And we also have an analog to digital area that includes a large format scanner, VHS to digital, a slide scanner, and a record album to digital. We are always mounting displays. We have monthly themed book displays. An example is on the right. And then we also always have archives and special collections displays. And we have 2 display cases for archives and special collections. One on the first floor of the library pictured here. It's across from the research help desk. And then one downstairs in the archives and special collections reading room. Other resources, we've got a lactation room on the 3rd floor. You check out the key at the checkout desk to access that room. The Harmony room, which is a kind of a relaxation, de-stressing place. Again, you check out the key. I don't know if you'll be able to get into it though, because it's being really popular with students. They're checking it out a lot. And then also we have space to spread out and get work done on your own. Many like faculty and staff come to the library to kind of hide out from their office, or if they're in a shared workspace. And then this is an example illustrated of the large drafting tables we have that maybe you can make use of. Okay, so we actively contribute to enhancing the intellectual growth, creativity, and well-being of our community. We recognize and respect the diverse and changing needs of our students, staff, and faculty. We shape our collection services and programs to empower our users, and that includes you, our faculty and staff. So thank you for this very quick overview and opportunity. Are there any questions?
Yes, Sarah, this is Nanda Kumar. Are there any facilities for handicapped students in the library?
Yes, thank you for asking that question. We do. We have in every room, so every classroom has the ability to accommodate a user in a wheelchair. We also have two of our carrels that are available for users in wheelchairs. They are larger and they can be checked out at the checkout desk. If we have a user with a wheelchair who wants to check it out for the semester, we can do that as well. And then throughout the library too, we have height adjustable stations to accommodate users in wheelchairs. The other thing we're doing is with our collection review project, we are retrofitting the stacks in the third floor to make the aisles wider to accommodate users in wheelchairs with mobility issues. Beyond that, I think that's really the extent of users with physical disabilities. Thank you for that question.
Thank you.
Okay, well, I'm 2 minutes over time. Thank you so much for attending this session and thank you for your time and attention. Have a great day.
Thank you, Sarah.
There it is.